What is going on, everybody? I'm back again with another video. I'm back again in Manila, Philippines, my second home, and I'm out here in United Nations Avenue. So I really don't have much planned for today, but one thing that I have in mind is I want to go towards Dolomite Beach. It's been like a little over 2 years since I've been there, and that beach used to be back in the days like very polluted. I feel like last year I tried to go over there, but then changed the plans when I run into a Calesa driver, and I decided to go with the flow and ride with him. But this time I want to go in there and see what is happening. Like I say, back in the days it used to be super polluted, this beach, but they did a huge effort in cleaning up the beach over there, and now it's pretty nice. Probably now it's not the best time to come. I think the best time to come is during sunset, but I'm just gonna stroll around there, and then I'm probably just gonna walk around regular streets throughout Manila. Like I said, I don't really have much plans. Just my main focus today is to go over there, and then I'll figure out what's the next plan. But without further ado, join me. Pretty busy out here. This is United Nations Avenue. I like how the street is, pretty nice with the trees. Bocobo Street, if you go over here, it'll take you to Ermita and Malate. Then the U.S. Embassy is over that way ahead. Might be for some reason why they named the street United Nations or UN in a short word. Then over here they got J-Co. This is bringing me vibes when I was in Jakarta, Indonesia. I just came back from there, so I think J-Co is originally from Indonesia, so I tried when I was over there, This is actually my first video back in the Philippines since I left to Indonesia for a whole week, and I had a good time over there. So yeah, it was a blast in Jakarta, and a lot of similarities between Jakarta and Manila. So, but now I'm back here to see what's going on, what has happened. I want to see what update has happened in Dolomite Beach since the last time I came, because it's been, I think, over 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, but let's see what's happening. Walking in the sidewalk, I realize it's faster if you walk in the skinita of the road, Probably gets you faster to your destination. Because some of the buildings, if you go over that way, it's Rizal Park. And here is the jeepneys again, so back to my original roots. Even though I'm not Pinoy, but I live out here, so this taxi drivers, they had them, it's from Vietnam, but they had them in Jakarta too, so, and then they got the tuk-tuk and of course the jeepney, so, and then the similarity between those two cities, or the two countries, first of all, genetics, the people look similar. Also, both of them are super, super friendly. The only difference is in the Philippines, they speak actually better English than Indonesia, but I'm already missing Indonesia, especially Jakarta, and I want to come back. It's only like a few hour flight away, so I want to go back there. Next month I'm gonna go back to another country, go a little bit forward, keep on filming. But I'm based out here, so it's a good thing to be based out here, and I could be able to travel to these other neighboring countries. And here you can see some of the nice buildings I got here in the heart of Manila. And a perfect time to come here. The weather is good. The little mistake that I did with Jakarta, I went in the wrong time. Rainy season, that explains why the tickets and the accommodation were very cheap. Over here is perfect weather because it's not rainy, it's not summer. Yo, shut up. It's not summer, so perfect weather for me to walk around here, no rain. So I'm still a little tired from my trip to Indonesia, but I'm taking advantage of the nice weather to come and explore out here. So gotta keep grinding if you want progress. So we're here, don't want to film over that way, but that's a huge U.S. Embassy. So, as an American citizen living out here, I guess if I need to renew my passport, anything related, I can go over here. Also for Filipinos who want to apply for a U.S. visa, that's where they go. So yeah, but I'm gonna walk towards the other side, because that's where Dolomite Beach should be. Over here, I've seen little by little like progress out here, how they're maintaining the area pretty clean. Back in the days it wasn't like that, but now they're doing an effort to keep Manila, pretty clean. You got the workers out here working. So yeah, Filipino way, they take their broom and they sweep around. So, and then the U.S. Embassy keeps going all the way here. Like you will think it's small, but it's actually pretty big. So yeah, but I like the fact how they have a lot of trees over here by Rojas Boulevard, by the bay. So just gonna make it ahead to the other side. And despite the weather still being on the nicer side, keep in mind, the weather is humid still. We're in the tropics. Same when I was in Jakarta, it was humid, and then over here, still the same deal. But here you can see some of the tall buildings that's happening right by Rojas Boulevard in front of the U.S. Embassy. The last time I tried to go to the beach, I think the same tree was over here, cut. Seems like they haven't picked it up yet. But there's an overpass passage that will take me into Dolomite Beach. So I'm excited to see what's been happening there lately. But yeah, this is a huge tree. Seems like they chop it down, not sure, what is the purpose. You can tell it's an old tree by the roots and everything. So over here's the overpass passage, and you'll get a nice view of Manila Bay. But now they're building literally like reclamation land, so I can see the beach. It looks pretty empty now. Wonder if I can go in and take a look. I literally don't see nobody. Just a few people. Maybe on the other side. Let me see. Well, there are, a few people out here, so I'll take a look. Well, here's the bay, and then the beach is over there. So I see a couple of people. You just gotta enter over here by the security. Right now, not too busy, but I think later it's gonna pick up, especially when the weather cools down in the afternoon. So now I finally made it to Dolomite Beach, and I gotta tell you, this over here, a couple of years ago, it was unrecognizable. Like this here where I'm standing was literally filled up with garbage, the water ahead of me and everything. But they did a huge effort to clean this up, and it's been a success. Over here, it's like a rock, and I think they're gonna show you a before and after. I'm probably gonna take a little picture from the internet and show you how this used to be before and insert it in the clip. And now you can see the progress that's happening out here. But yeah, this is what you get behind me. You see a lot of ships because they're building like an artificial island, and they're gonna build like a city within it. But yeah, it's actually really cool, I guess it cooled down. When they opened this up, this was literally like a hit. A lot of people were coming out here. Look at the sand, how nice it is, and white. And that's the United Nations right there, so I'll be careful not filming over there, but you can see the water. I'm not gonna step in the water, it's not safe to get in, but you can see the sand. That's pretty cool. How they build like this artificial beach out here. I can actually see Mall of Asia over that way at the end too. And then of course the buildings of Metro Manila. You can literally see this when you're landing in Ninoy Aquino Airport. Despite it not being too hot, I'm literally gonna bake myself here in the sun. It is what it is. I'd rather deal with this than a freezing cold weather and snow, but yeah. I guess the good thing about it is that I have the whole beach to myself and not too many people out here. So I'm probably just gonna stroll around a little bit. I wanna show you the rock that's happening over here. They show you like a before and after. Then over here is probably not clear. I guess it's a little bit run now, but this is how it used to be before. I don't know how clear is my camera capturing it. And then over here they did, the cleanup. And the other side is another type of view too. Let me see if I can capture it. So here's a little bit of history, Manila Dolomite Beach, constructed, 500 meter by 60 meter structure built with geoengineering. It aims to clean, rehabilitate this once trash-laden and polluted portion of Manila Bay Walk into a vibrant, clean, and coastal environment where Filipinos can enjoy the sea breeze, the white sand, and famous Manila Bay sunset. So this is what you get out here. You see everything, how nice it is, the water. But there's security over here patrolling, so you just can't really get into the water. This is it. I'm not gonna, I'm just gonna try like from a distance. But a huge, huge progress made out here. Same happens with Pasig River. It used to be one of the most polluted rivers in the Philippines, maybe the world, but they did a good job to clean it up. And you see this is like a little ASMR vibe right here in Manila. With the buildings and everything. Even in a crazy city like this, I can still get a little peaceful vibe, the water, everything. Feels good. Let's enjoy this view behind me. I like it so far. I just try to stay around here. There's a guy standing all the way in the other side in the security, literally whistling, I guess they're trying to keep it super safe because maybe the water can just take people away, But yeah, this is it. Dolomite Beach, I see what I see. I think I gotta exit over this way. Yes, I'm just gonna do my departure. And I don't know what I'm gonna do now. I'm probably just gonna go maybe Rizal Park, Intramuros, I don't know. Because I took the LRT to LRT1 and there was a massive line to get back in LRT. So I think the best option for me is just to walk towards the other side and then towards Recto, and it's probably gonna be like an easy passage for me. But yeah. Showcasing what's out here and taking advantage of the weather is nice. I'm just gonna walk a little bit towards the Ermita area, see what's going on. Gotta be careful when I cross the street. And then I'm gonna make it towards the left and head towards Rizal Park. think it's a little bit dumb of me to do this with the hot weather, but I'll try.
Hello, brother. Hello. Hello.
What's up? Shout out. Peace, man. See? Friendly people out here, but yeah, I'm gonna make it towards the other side to see what's going on. Here you get like regular streets, some developed buildings, a lot of college out here, so you're gonna be seeing a lot of young students hanging out too. So here where you get is like little regular streets. I think the block ahead of me is where I'm gonna make a left. But over here's like a lot of buildings, and in the nighttime I think it lights up with the lights and everything. But here another area that they got this little Korea with this more towards that way, but I already filmed it. So like I said, this area is literally famous for, what's up, brother? Friendly people. This area is literally famous, you know, with nightlife and everything. And then they got a couple of restaurants, like coffee shops, bakeries and everything out here. But yeah, I'm gonna see how do I make it towards Rizal Park, and hopefully there are some signal lights that can make it easy for me to cross the street. I see potential here. Maybe they might tore this down and build more condos. This street could do actually better, you know, if they can develop it. That would be interesting. Over here you can see mostly like old architecture that I feel like if they do a little touch up and probably put the cable wires underground, the city will be actually interesting. But no matter what, I love Manila. You know, Manila has a special place in my heart, and I'm happy to be out here. Here, since we're getting back again to United Nations Avenue, it gets pretty busy though. Now I gotta figure out how do I cross towards the other side. But here you can see like some real street lights in the heart of Manila. You know, real people, friendly, hospitable people, and a lot of action going on. I think later in the afternoon, that's when it really starts to pick up. Then ahead of me within the block should be one of the most important parks in Manila, which is Rizal Park, but a lot of people they call it also Luneta Park, and that's where they got a statue, you know, to Jose Rizal. So yeah, I think right now, maybe because it's too hot, you're not gonna see really much people. But yeah, in the afternoon, if you come, then the area is actually really packed, and it's pretty busy. You know, it's actually a big local park, and it literally connects you to Intramuros. Literally right over there. Then they got a couple of nice museums that I recommend that you guys check out. I've been to a couple of them, and they're free. The only thing about it is that it's not allowed to video, film, but you could take, I guess, in certain areas, you know, pictures. Just in case if you guys are wondering why I don't go and blog it, it's because I tried, but they wouldn't allow the video. So now I am in Rizal Park, and yep, beautiful areas. You know, every time I always go in the center area, but they got these areas over here with trees. Kind of gave me a little vibe when I was in Quezon Memorial Circle. Now they did like an extension, a bridge that connects you to the highway, and they beautified the area. So gonna check out this area here that's connected with history. Here it is, not too busy, and then they got a huge stash over there with the Filipino flags, you know. And I wish Manila had like more parks. Here we even got some of the guards. They wear this uniform out here. You know, it's actually pretty nice. Gonna see what's happening down this way right here. So yeah, it seems like they did some reparations in the park. It's looking nicer than ever. And here's a huge, massive flag. Trying to walk around the shades, man. Because if you walk in the heat, it will literally cook you up. But yeah, this is what you get in the highways over there. They even have like a little, I think, Japanese area with park, but I think you gotta pay a fee to get in. And then at the other side, it will literally connect you to Intramuros. I know I showcase the area, but I'm probably just gonna shortcut over that way to see what's going on. I'm just gonna make it towards the other side, get a close up of the statue, because every time I come here, they always have the statue like a little bit close. So gonna get a close up. Yeah, I gotta tell you, this is a massive, massive, super tall Filipino flag. And look how high up this is. The proud of Pilipinas. Wow, there's a lot of foreigners out here exploring today. So yeah, I think it's a good day to go to Intramuros and see what else is happening. And I'm gonna get a little bit closer to Jose Rizal. So basically they have like a little, not sure how it's called, not a barricade, they got like a little something you cannot really get close to the statue, but you can go over there and take pictures. A lot of people are doing it. This is the National Monument, Jose Rizal, 1913. Then you got it over there, and of course, you know, foreigners just out here. You got a security over there, they got another one over this side, so you know it's highly secure. But here, you know, the nice view. You can see how big and spacious the park is. Kids going, I think they did an extension on the other side near the LRT line. So yeah, usually they would be having like a little fountain over here, but I think it's closed and they got some music going on. I'm just trying to shelter and walk where the shade is, you know. It's probably like a better idea. So in this area that I'm standing, it seemed like they did some reparations to the park. Gonna show you how beautiful this is. I like the cobblestones, everything pretty nice and organized, you know. So then on the other side, I think it's like another extension of the park. I think if I exit around here, this would take me literally straight into Intramuros. So it's a good idea that they're connecting literally like a lot of parts of Manila over here. And if you go to the other side, it's where they got the Pasig River Esplanade, but it's much better to explore that area in the nighttime, which I already did if you want to check out the video. Over here they got the lamps and everything, so you know, it's looking pretty nice. But now I'm just gonna exit and hit Intramuros to see what is happening there. Never get tired of that neighborhood, and now that they got the area that's pedestrianized, and it literally connects you one side of this over here to the other side, so I think it's gonna be actually really cool, you know. But the heat is literally kicking in, and like the humidity and everything, but I don't mind it, you know. When you do something that you love, you just really don't care, you know, you just enjoy the vibes. But here you can see how nice and clean the streets are. I'll call this the Central Park of Manila. The city hall is literally in the other side, you know. Now that I think about it, it's been a minute since I've been around that area. And this area is where I'm entering Intramuros. You can start seeing the fort over there. One of the main attractions is Fort Santiago. But like I say, I covered this area many times. I'm just trying to shortcut and see the vibes because I'm noticing a lot of tourists here than ever before. So I'm just gonna see what the vibes are over here ahead, and yeah, then I'm probably gonna connect towards the other part of Manila. So before I go this way, I'm noticing there's an area over here, Puerta Real Gardens. So I wanna take a little peek before I go into the touristy area because I've never been in this side of Intramuros. Even if I've been many times, you keep exploring new parts of Intramuros. Nothing fancy, just like a little park over here with a fortress that reminds me of back home of San Juan, Puerto Rico. But if you go to Fort Santiago, it's even better, even though I think the fee was like 80 pesos per head, I'm not sure, but yeah. And then you can see like literally like the fort of Intramuros over that way. And a beautiful area. So nothing crazy, I'm just gonna exit and I'm gonna enter Intramuros where the cobblestone pedestrian area is and make it towards the other side. And over here you see a different vibe, the fortress and some of the buildings of Metro Manila. So it's like we literally enter another world out here. So literally like a city of contrast, you know, but beautiful no matter where you go, and the people are what make this country great. So like I said, I'm getting distracted with this, but let's make it into the main icon of Intramuros. I'm about to enter Intramuros, and looks like today is very busy out here. I see a lot of people strolling around, so I think we are in for a treat. Since this year, you know, the weather is perfect out here. Here you can see, Intramuros. This is like mainly the entrance, and then once you go over there, it feels like if you've been transported back in time or to a Latin country. The last time I came here, it was in the nighttime, so I couldn't really acknowledge this area pretty well. But it seems like it got even nicer. Then they got an area over here where it's bike lanes. But yeah, here, welcome to Intramuros. It literally feels like if you're in Spain, you know, a Latin country, or even where I'm from. This is actually like the heart of the Philippines. It seems like they got a market out here happening. Let's check it out. Night market, but you know, everywhere you go in the Philippines, they always have market, refreshments. I could really benefit from this. It's very hot. We got more street food. Oh, only 150 pesos for some of the meals out here. Shawarma, sisig, you know, traditional Filipino food. Street food, and then more towards the other side. And this is just giving me also similar vibes to Kota Tua from Jakarta, Indonesia. And for the people who are just new or just watching this video, before you be like, hey, explore different parts of Metro Manila, go to my previous videos. I moved here to the Philippines in September, but I'm traveling in neighboring countries, but I'm based out here. So I'm not like 100% expert, but I really know my way around Metro Manila. I cover like many neighborhoods, not only the touristy, but like even local areas. So just go between my former videos and check out everything I've been filming out here, you know. So, but yeah, let's check out what's going on ahead. It's probably some of the nicest buildings you'll find out here. Even in the city of Vigan, they got a building similar to this. Also the city of Taal, which is about two hours, 2.5 hours from here, they have a nice old downtown like this. Like I say, one good town that I recommend you guys to check it out. It's about 8-9 hour drive from Metro Manila. It's vegan. I made a video there like a year ago. A little bit far, but it's worth the trip. And they got the calesa horses that passes by the streets with the cobblestone. So gonna walk ahead towards the plaza and see what else is going on. And they got more here, Victoria, street art. Just watch your step. Street with bike lanes. Like I say, the best time to explore out here is in the evening or nighttime when the weather gets down, the lights come out, and there's like a vibrant nightlife. And then you can connect to the other side and walk towards the Pasig River Esplanade. Ahead of me is gonna get nicer because the cobblestones have changed and the architecture is pretty nice. Like I say, this is literally like a cousin from Latin America. Even though it's in Asia, a lot of things here resemble like if I'm back home. So this is Chinatown right here where it's gonna get top notch, especially with this cathedral. If you're a fan of old architecture, then this is the place for you to be. And this is the area that I tell you is beautiful. The architecture, the street that I'm walking, it feels like you're literally transported back in time. They got a couple of cafes out here. Many times that I visit around here, this is probably some of the busiest that I've seen. And the architecture over here is nice. You could go around here where the church is. So I'm probably gonna be capturing a couple of B-rolls around here. And over here, actually pretty nice. Like I say, in the nighttime, they literally lit up this cathedral over here, you know. Then they got the whole area that's literally surrounded. Like I said, in the nighttime, it's actually even better. So, see? You can admire some beautiful classical colonial architecture. You see the tourists and everything, a lot of foreigners out here, you know, and the beautiful architecture. So yeah, they even got the calesa, but I don't know how much they charge right here. So. Honestly, I feel like little by little, even though it's been famous, but the Philippines is getting popular for other times. Because I remember the first time that I ever came to the Philippines, I think it was almost like 10 years ago. There were foreigners, but not a lot. But now, every time I come here, I see more. When I fly back in the plane to Manila, I see more and more. You know, there's also like something going around the news that they're struggling with tourism out here. But, you know, there's a lot of beautiful natural resources, a lot of islands and provinces out here that get a lot of foreigners, and I feel like people should come here to the Philippines. Of course, many countries in Southeast Asia is awesome, but there's a lot happening in this beautiful country. So, you know, you're gonna find friendly people, English is widely spoken out here, and you get beautiful architecture like this, and over 7,000 islands for you guys to explore right here. So, see, and there's mostly foreigners out here. Another one, there's more over this way. Even, let me see what's out here. I've never been inside this plaza. Want to check that out. What's the vibe out here? So here's showing you the Battle of Manila, the liberation and everything, you know. It was colonized by Spain back in the day, so that explains why a lot of Filipinos have Spanish names, Spanish influences, even the cuisines and everything. Even some of the national dishes, lechon, but it's literally like roast pig competition between Puerto Rico, where I'm from, and the Philippines. I'm a little bit biased, you know, but they got some pretty good lechon out here, and it's actually one of the national dishes. I tell you, despite many times me coming here, can't just get enough of it, especially when you see the vibes and the people. You know, it's beautiful, and I'm so happy to walk around here and see more tourists and foreigners than ever. You know, it's very good for this country for it to happen, you know. So as long as we respect, hello, sir.
Hi.
Hello. From Puerto Rico, and you?
You from?
I'm from Puerto Rico, and you?
Costa Rico.
No, Puerto Rico, small island,
We are
Spanish.
from India.
India, welcome to the Philippines. Yeah.
We work with an international NGO.
You're traveling international?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was in Bohol and just came here for this one.
Oh, welcome, welcome.
You are on tour?
Yeah, no, I live here in Manila.
Oh.
But I travel around. I just came back from Jakarta, Indonesia.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was actually my new friend from India. Now, little by little, I'm noticing more Indian visitors coming over here because now I think they can travel, I think up to 2 weeks visa-free over here. So, welcome, you know. Little by little, more and more people are coming out here, so that's great, man. Very friendly. Like I said, as long as you respect the locals and follow the rules, you're gonna have a blast out here. Great hospitality, great food. Like I said, I've been to many cool countries, but the Philippines literally hits different. Like, I don't know, just the ambience and the food and everything is just like at another type of level right here. So one thing I forgot to say is now you can literally rent bikes out here. Not now, this has always been here, but you can literally rent bikes and bike around. You know, it's like a bikeable and walkable area, and then the main cathedral is actually right here. They even got like a little street market and ahead of me, Palacio de Gobernador. So it used to be, I guess, the governor's palace back in the day. They got the street market and this beautiful building in Spanish named Palacio de Gobernador. Like I say, night markets, and the nighttime is vibrant because they bring like a lot of street food too. Like the last time I ever came to Intramuros. And now if you walk towards the other side, or maybe over here, over there back in the end is Fort Santiago. But if you're going the other way, it's the Pasig River Esplanade. So everything is walkable and everything connects right next to each other. Matter of fact, I'm gonna walk over here to see what can I find. This over here is the entrance to Fort Santiago, but I've already covered this area, so just having you an idea of what it looks like. Even if you walk outside here, I want to show you like the buildings ahead of me, like this. It literally feels like if I'm in Ponce, Puerto Rico, like the same type of architecture. Shoot, like over here, like the buildings are not tall, but they're very beautiful. Like if you walk around the plaza in Ponce by the city hall, it looks literally like just like this. Like over here, you see it? Pretty much the same architecture, but this is literally like Asia. They got a couple of fast food chains like KFC right here, and then the other side should connect me towards the Pasig River. Oh yeah, today is like the most I've seen, woo, like the most influence in foreigners I've seen here today. But that's good. I'm happy that it's getting more popular, you know. Philippines need this. This is a BPI bank. Pretty nice plaza. I don't think I'm allowed to walk here, but hey, taking it easy. I'm just trying to make it towards where the Esplanade is. This green building over here is the Bureau of Immigration. Probably like the main headquarters, you know, for anything, especially for foreigners like myself. You know, if you want to stand, work on your visa, you can come out here. Me personally, I go to the one in BGC, Bonifacio Global City by the satellite. Pretty fast and efficient, you know, you just pay the fee and they extend you. I think I could connect over this way. Here's something, La Expedición Marítima México-Filipinas, 1564 to 1964. And then this is the Pasig River Esplanade. But I recommend that you guys, if you want to check this out, come out in the nighttime. It's much nicer, it's better. The lights, everything, you know. It gets busy, it comes out to life, and they even have like a market of street food, you know. I already filmed this area here in the nighttime, so you guys can check out the video if you want. But a very good concept that they did here, you know, they clean up the river, Pasig River, and then they're making this over here pedestrian area so you can just walk around and enjoy what this area has to offer. I'm also starting to realize maybe also another reason why I might be seeing a lot of foreigners is because of the Bureau of Immigration. Maybe they are staying and then they just hang out in the area. Could be, but this is also a very touristy area in Manila. So they're actually renovating this again. This is cool, you know, the security told me. So I'm just exiting over here, gonna make it towards Quiapo. But very, very friendly security, and he let me out so I can walk around here. This over here will take you towards Binondo, Chinatown, so don't come here yet. He said in 1 month it should be renovated, so wow, they're doing a very good effort to keep this area pretty nice. And you can see the old architecture of Manila. That's a semi-vibe of a Spanish colonial architecture. Then Binondo's right here ahead of me. There's more out here, so yeah. Binondo here, Quiapo, and the other side. So pretty good vibe. Like I say, I was just going with the flow and I managed to find some type of content. Have to shout out? Shout out. Wait. Now.
Shout out. Shout out sa mama ko dyan.
And you take care, kids. So I've explored this area many times, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna walk throughout Omping Street in Chinatown. And this month is gonna be Chinese New Year. I wanted to check it out, but unfortunately I'm not gonna be here because I'm gonna be somewhere else blogging and exploring. But maybe for next year I'll do the vibes in Chinatown out here. But yeah, there's a lot of potential in the city. You know, I really love like the old architecture and everything. And it seems like they're trying to renovate out here, you know, like the buildings, it's like an empty lot, but maybe they're gonna build something like a condo right here. Loving the streets so far. And they got the huge signs in the Arc of Chinatown. So a pretty nice vibe. Here you see what's going on. Pretty nice. Also another thing I forgot to mention, I've mentioned this in many of my videos, but for those who are new to the channel or not really, hello sir, or not really familiar with Manila, this is actually the oldest Chinatown in the world, right here. So honored to be walking around here. Like I say, this city is literally rich in history, and a lot of people when they come to the Philippines, they usually be skipping Manila, but I think there's a lot to explore out here. You know, here's a minor basilica, you know, pretty famous. And I see they decorated the streets. I'm probably gonna walk a little bit over that way and then make it towards the old Omping Street to see what is going on. Just want to show you a little bit of the action that we got going on right here. Tell you, I always have like a blast coming here to the older part of Manila. Like this, literally packing action. But the best of all is the people. You see, I've interacted with a couple of people, and they're very cool and friendly. You know, just tell you the energy and the vibes of the Philippines literally hits different. Here they got a plaza and they decorated. It looks like strawberries. I'm not sure what they put on the top. Just want to get a little close up. And over here you see what's going on. Pretty nice, right? And now I'm just gonna go hit Omping Street to see what's going on right there. And now here I'm about to hit Omping Street. It's been a little bit, literally a minute since I've been out here. So thought I would do an update of what's going on here. Noticing foreign tourists today here, just like I saw in Intramuros. Like I said, this is literally like the oldest Chinatown in the whole world. Here you see the vibes, look how they beautify the street with the lights. In the nighttime it's gorgeous, you know. They got a lot of good street food right here ahead if you walk ahead. Ube joints right here. And here you see what's going on. There is actually a joint, I think it's this one, what it specializes in noodles. And usually when you walk here, the lines are like pretty massive. It's gonna give you a little close up. I actually ate here at one time and the food was pretty good, but you see, today's nothing, but usually the line will take up like an entire block. So I'm just gonna walk a little bit more ahead to show you what's going on. And then you see how the streets look like. Tight, but pretty tall residential buildings. And this will go all the way towards the other side, which is called Quiapo. And it's a vibrant neighborhood because this pretty specializes in street food. Hello, sir. Shout out.
Hello, friend.
Good. Take care. Huh? Thank you, yeah. Philippines. Yeah, got it, thank you. See? Friendly people out here saying hi to you. I want to see some street action. They got like street food over here. What's this? Looks like a seafood or something, I'm not sure. And a couple of businesses like Mr. Ube right here. So nice, wow. So vibrant, man. More people, more products they sell out here. See, they sell fruits and vegetables. But here it keeps going. But I think it's better if I just walk in the street level over this way. Let me see. Most likely. You can see how Omping Street keeps going. Pretty busy, but no matter what part of Manila you go, everywhere is busy. It would just suck for it to drive. Good thing I'm small, so I skinily fit inside there. So it seems like this place is famous. Xiao, Long Pao. Then they're already starting to sell for the Chinese New Year right here. Like I say, when it's Chinese New Year, the street gets very packed. Like a lot of people, they be hanging out here. You'll be literally bumping people to people. According to that, I've been seeing the videos, but unfortunately, I'm gonna miss it this year. But hopefully next year I'll come. Not gonna live stream it, but I'll probably document it, you know, because the signal will go bad when a lot of people are connected at the same time together. And then you can see how they got some condos over here. So imagine living on the top, you would get some pretty impressive views. And on the other side of the street, they got some markets, and I see a line of people over here. Not sure what they got selling. Oh, what's in there? And ahead of me, you see how they're building a couple of condos. So no matter what part of Manila you go, everywhere there's construction happening. So this city is literally like booming. Over here it gets nice, woo, the noise. But it would be much better if they didn't have like the spaghetti wires. But this literally happens in all over Southeast Asia, so not just the Philippines, but yeah, it keeps going. This will connect you into the main side, and then if I make it right, a left, it will take me straight into Recto. So everything is pretty much connectable. And you see they got more business out here. I tell you, you would never get bored vlogging in the Philippines, especially in the capital, in Manila, with so much action going on. Like I said, my plan was just to focus mostly in Dolomite Beach, but here I am getting distracted, walking all over the city. So there's small like street vendors out that way. So now I'm starting to realize that the LRT can get very packed during rush hour, and we're getting close to rush hour, so I think I better hurry up and head towards the LRT or MRT before I'm gonna be jam-packed with people. I forgot to bring my tissue or my wash rack to wipe up the sweat, you know, because even though it's not brutally hot, the humidity is just a little bit intense. You can see how they're literally popping up this tall skyscrapers are literally all over Manila. They're building and building. Yep. Shout out. Boom. Take care. This is literally non-stop. People waving, saying hi and shout out. That's the friendliness of the Filipino out here. And here they're doing some major renovations over here. And this over here would take me into one of the main streets. So once I walk it towards the other way, I think I'm just gonna call it a day. And over here they got the cathedral, but this is not a Quiapo church. And the fountain and some of the beautiful architecture you can find in Manila. It's pretty busy because I think they have like a jewelry area. So probably cheap over here. Today's not as busy as usual, but I want to cross over this way. Just gotta be careful with the cars. Crossing down the Philippines can be challenging actually, but you just gotta go for it. Hopefully I don't get run over by this one, but you'll witness a little bit of history if anything was to happen towards me. But yeah, over here to take me into the main road, and probably just gonna call it a day right here. Here, this is where the LRT1 passes by. So I think if I make my left, that would take me right into Recto, where I'm gonna catch the LRT. Over there behind me is actually Carrieto Street, which is one of the main streets in Quiapo. I already filmed there, so maybe I'll leave it for another occasion because I'm a little bit tired and I gotta go home. But yeah, you know, you have an idea what it looks like over there. If you go, you'll literally be bumping people to people. Then if you go a little bit more ahead, they got the Divisoria market, which is very jam-packed, but they sell like a lot of cheap products like shirts, anything you can imagine. Here's a little bit of some street action with the ceiling. And then over here passes the LRT. But I think this is gonna be a good area for me to wrap up the video in Manila. Many other videos coming around here, so that was the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all, and peace.